Hi, this is Zazen Frog. Today's topic also comes from a question that came from one of my friends in Facebook, and he asked me the question, why did the red-bearded barbarian come from the West? So what does it mean? First I will have to explain what the red-bearded barbarian means here. So this red-bearded barbarian means suggests a well-known person in Zen who is a Bodhidharma, who is said to have been the first patriarch of Zen, the one who transmitted Zen from India to China. And this question itself is used as a question for Zen practitioners to work on as something called koan, with which they train in Zen. But in this video, I deliberately refrain from using this phrase as a koan, and instead I like to talk about authority, or rather authoritarianism. I hope my pronunciation is correct here. So why do they call this patriarch, this famous, a person who is said to be a great person, a barbarian? So in Zen practice, they are against making someone an authority. So they deliberately call a person not in as someone honorable, but they call them as if they look down on the person. So they use the word barbarian here. So what's the intent here? When we do engage ourselves in religious practice, it's easy for us to make someone who is said to be master of that knowledge, religious knowledge, an authority. And what happens when we make some master's authority is that authority becomes more important than the actual practice. So here our focus is on the practice, not on the person who suggested that we practice. So I think that pretty much explains or suggests the pitfall we tend to fall into when we do religious practices or practices of these kinds. So I think it's helpful to have this healthy balance between paying respect to those who have practiced the way for liberation or the way to end suffering, but still not to make them an authority, because as I told you, if you make them an authority, it's easy for you to make that authority as something important rather than practice itself. And also, in terms of practice, there's always a possibility that you make that practice or that theory around that practice and authority for yourself, and make it very important, instead of actually practicing it. So always when we practice also in this Zen context, the what's important is to actually practice it, not to say something about a person who transmitted the doctrine or something similar. And here, this question, why did the red-bearded barbarian, which means Bodhidharma, come from the West? So this question suggests or questions whether there is something that has been brought from India. Bodhidharma was from India to China. So we also tend to think or imagine that there's some esoteric knowledge that has been taught or transmitted from someone who realized that. But it's always good to question that, whether there is something special about what those people realize, or what our ordinary lives. And so here the focus is our ordinary lives instead of some special teaching that is said to be important. And in the actual Zen practice, it's very important to that we focus on our experience of here and now, which could be also said to be our ordinary lives. So when we think about this phrase, the purpose, why that Bodhidharma came from the West, and what that person tried to bring from India to China, it's good to translate that into what this is all about what we're experiencing here and now, this seeing, this hearing, this touching, this smelling, present moment. And when we dive into that, it's interesting because if we really dive into that, we will know what those patriarchs, those who practiced, who have practiced and wanted to convey or did experience. So just try to focus, make the primary focus not on the dogma or doctrine or the teaching that all these teachers and masters brought, but try to see it as some pointers, something that they intended to point about our reality here, now, in this moment. So that means our experience of 5 senses: seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, what else? Tasting, and also thinking. So hope this makes sense again. That has been a random talk, but I think it's an interesting topic to see. So thanks for watching the video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.